The state of Washington is spending millions of dollars providing free representation to low-income tenants facing eviction. Now, landlord groups say these free lawyers are clogging the system and forcing court delays, which causes mom-and-pop operations to lose thousands of dollars.
Now, Jesse Jones spoke to all sides, the lawyers, the residents, and the landlords in this real estate battle.
Geneva Holmes' James Seattle apartment has no hot water in the kitchen.
No. I warm it up on the stove.
The stove works, but the oven door is busted.
Did you tell them?
Now she's facing an eviction for non-payment of rent, but says...
Wait a minute, you have the money, and they won't take your payment?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
The landlord's attorney says that's not true, adding they're negotiating with Geneva's free lawyer.
Your Honor,
See, Washington is the only state in the country that offers the right to counsel for low-income tenants facing eviction.
Because most landlords, by far, almost 9 out of 10 of the times, even more than that, had an attorney. Tenants didn't.
Edmund Witter is the managing attorney for the King County Housing Justice Project. Statewide, the group gets $4.6 million a year from the state, $500,000 more from King County to pay its 32 lawyers and support staff.
When we're doing our best work, I think we keep a lot of households housed that shouldn't be evicted.
According to King County Superior Court, there were 4,500 unlawful detainer, better known as eviction court cases filed in 2023. And in this year, 595 were filed in January alone. As of this week, the court says a few dates were available in April and May, but most would be set to June. It means a continuance in a case could result in a months-long delay. And in many cases, it means the landlord is out thousands of dollars. Sean Flynn of the Rental Housing Association of Washington blames the delays on the free lawyers.
The more funding we give the lawyers, the longer the process takes, and it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle.
We practice across the state.
However, Witter says the process works. Over the past 3 years statewide, the HJPs have completed 5,046 cases, and in more than 1,300 of those, the tenancy was completely saved.
And frankly, we've had enough of our former clients who have been found on the homelessness death list. And every year we see that happen when they are evicted.
Landlord groups tell me they have issues with the unnecessary delays, tactics, and the HJP's use of this document in the eviction process. It's an order for limited dissemination. Once signed, the document prevents screening companies from reporting the tenant's eviction.
People fall on hard times.
Andrew Tetnosky, whose tenant hadn't paid rent in a Seattle condo for 9 months, says he was asked by HJP attorneys to sign it in settlement negotiations.
And while I want this to be over as quick as possible, I morally can't do that. Like, it feels like I'm lying, but B, I'm just passing the buck on to someone else.
The work that goes on before.
Mark Morzal, the managing attorney for Tacoma Pro Bono HJP, says the document's use brings fairness to the process.
You could have somebody who had a tenancy for 5-6 years in a row that was going just fine. It ends in eviction. Suddenly they're a bad tenant. Like, to me, that was actually probably a pretty good tenant until something happened.
Jim Henderson, a lobbyist for the Rental Association of Washington, says taxpayers' dollars would be better spent on funds for tenants, not lawyers.
I mean, that's what I say. We got to find what is the root cause of this. Why are you not able to pay rent? Let's connect them to resources that can help them. That's what people need.
Because if every tenant, just every time they look at somebody wrong or just do one thing wrong and they're not understood and we just throw them out every time, that's how you get a homelessness crisis. That's how you get people dying on the street. That's how you get people not getting the care they need.
Geneva's landlord lawyer says they weren't informed about the problems with the apartment and are working to make repairs. I think the big question here is, will there ever be any middle ground found between the two sides here? And it's difficult because so much is at stake. Yes. And I just think we're putting money into the problem, but we'll see if there's any effectiveness down the road.
Another layer in the housing issue.
You got it.
Okay.
Jesse, thank you. And we're going to get over to Morgan for a check of our weather tonight.